then you'll be able to get a good fee for whatever it is. So don't worry too much. Somebody's interested in everything. And anything you can be interested in, you'll find others will. But it's absolutely stupid to spend your time doing things you don't like.
LS Miata. LS Miata. In the live stream yesterday, you guys said you've never seen a single exit LS Miata. I said Steve's is single exit. What happened here? What'd you do? Oh, you backed into something, right?
Yeah.
That's so sad.
But it's gonna get fixed, so.
If you guys haven't seen, this is Steve's beautiful LS Miata. This is the intake I think I'm gonna run, the like Corvette intake. I'll just steal it off my car. We got it. We should. I can't get that. I was gonna say we should like move it to where we can park them next to each other.
That would be so much work.
Yeah, way too much work. What is our plan? What is our goal?
We're gonna start that thing up.
Yes.
Wait.
It's fine. I'll bleep it out. We're gonna start the Miata today. The main plan is to work on the wiring. Start getting this installed, the PMU. Start doing all the chassis wiring, which there's not that much to do. Oh man, I need to make a store trip to get fuses and relays. So I was gonna run all of the stuff that goes through here, through my PMU. But they ended up setting it up like this. And honestly, it works out because this is gonna be way easier to get the car running. Like we just need to put fuses in here and wire 3 wires and we can start this thing. So like I'm okay with that. I might 3D print like a little thing for this that like labels all the fuses or something, like a box. But for now, yeah, that's the plan. I 3D printed new brackets for the ECU. It fit super snug. There's one for this side, one for that side, and one for here. We'll riv nut them in. The only thing is I drew them around having this gap for the seam sealer, and now I'm thinking I'm going to grind that down. I don't know. I'm going to see how they fit, but pretty proud of my 3D printed brackets. It took 2 minutes to draw, so we're going to make a game plan and figure out what we're going to do for the day. Oh man, do you hear? Sandy? 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 Come on. You guys hear the ice cream truck? It's funny because someone commented in the last video, no ice cream break this video. And I was like, that's a good point. They didn't come last time. And literally we are just getting started and they're showing up. And it's starting to rain. We caved. So I'm going to grind the seam sealer down a little bit just to get this more correct. And then we'll rib nut the ECU in. And then we can move on to wiring everything else. Steve was right. This stuff like scrapes off like butter. Alright, so let's try to find some sort of foam insulation. So I don't have any foam, so we're going to just cut this coupler up and use it as our isolator. Well, we added the sick rock mod to the ECU. No, I didn't have my ECU coupler glue, Gorilla Glue compressor tool, so we had to improvise and use a rock. But we just glued the couplers to this, but they're, you know, it's a coupler, so it's like a circle. So this is just pushing it down so the Gorilla Glue can dry. So now we're going to start working on taking apart the old harness for the car. That way we have, you know, our connectors for the taillights. There's really not much else.
Yeah, pretty much taillights.
There's really not much else.
Headlights don't even have a connector.
Fuel pump wiring, we'll use that connector and just repin it or whatever. So this is the stock harness out of the car. We're just going to kind of harvest it for whatever we can, you know, lengths of wire, connectors that we're going to need, all that stuff. All right, we're still rocking out on the ECU, but I'll show you guys what we're working with. Dad jokes, hashtag. This is pretty clever, right? We have some heat wrap Steve brought for the starter because it's going to be right by the exhaust. Found this I saved off of some project for our engine ground to chassis ground. We've been taking apart the looms. Steve got this one apart, so that's going to be our main length of wire. We could buy new wire, but you need to get a lot of different colors so that you can draw up a schematic and know what everything is. If you got just a bunch of red and black, it's going to be really hard to find any sort of issue. And then I've got the taillight harness all stripped down to just the taillight stuff and the tag light. Where is it? Tag light's up there. Sandy, can you take apart this harness and see if there's anything we can use? Sandy? She has just been on a roll with ignoring you guys lately. All right, we got our 20 amp fuses. We've got our, oh, these are for starting the car. Got our relays. Yeah, this is all we need. And we'll have to jimmy rig some stuff to the wiring to get her started. So we're gonna work on that, get an ECU in, and then we'll work on the wiring. I guess we could start it before we do the rest of the wiring. That's the main goal today. That's what the people want to see. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, done rocking out.
Oh yeah, finished rocking out. I mean, it's good.
Good enough.
Vibrant ECU insulator. Got the live stream up. Steve is adding our inch into chassis ground. I got all the fuses and relays in. Jumper wire. Actually, no, I'm gonna mount the ECU. Got all the clips on. We have our isolators, so I need to drill the holes, rib knot them, mount it. That's what I'm doing now. All right, rib nuts are in. Steve is making a jumper lead for us for the main ECU power out of some thick gauge wire I had. Chelsea is about to go up against Dirk Stratton. I like both of these people. Chelsea's following now. See if he pulls one of his animal Chelsea runs or not. Oh. Oh.
Oh.
Oh. On him. Come on, Chelsea. Oh, I don't know where you're going. Solid followed by Chelsea, though. He should advance, I would assume. All right, ECU is mounted. Very solid. Can shake the whole car with it. I had some issues with my printer, and it's not printing as solid as I would like. I didn't add the third one back there because there was no way to get the rib nut tool back there. And I figured too, you know, it can't go forward, it can't go back, it can't go left to right. All right, we need to put some oil in, but we've got everything just about hooked up. That is our main power wire. That's our ignition wire, which will turn on the ECU. We've got jumper cable going straight to the battery as like our just solid battery cable. Then we've got ground, which will go to the battery to ground to the chassis. I've got my little wire that you probably can't see, it's over there. That'll go to the power probe to trigger the starter. Just like the little trigger. We need to find a piece of vacuum hose to hook the map up. On an LS1 intake, the map goes in the back. On this, it goes up here, under where my this thing is. Which it doesn't matter because I was going to run it remote anyway. And then we need to put oil in it real quick. Oh, I need to plug this off. So, anyway, we're almost there, guys. We're almost there to attempting our first start. This thing's only got 70K on it, bro. I just run 1550 and everything. Don't ask me why. At least it's not syrup. Oh, I just spilled a bunch. Yeah. Oh no! Dang it! Gotta clean that up.
Oh my god. What a disaster.
It just like slipped. Dang, it's everywhere.
We should probably use a funnel for this.
Yeah, no, yes. Probably. Alright, commercial break. We'll be back with you after we're done having technical difficulties.
This is nerve-wracking.
This is it.
I remember this feeling.
I'll turn it over a couple times, get the juices pumping through it, and then...
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna crank fast enough for us.
Yeah.
We may need to get a different battery. So let that thing charge up for a little while. All right, guys.
Oh, so we unjankified our setup. We took the power cable from the Miata, the original power
You
harness,
can see the smoky haze in the background.
but it fired like
Instantly.
jumper cable kept falling off and it would want to short. So we've got it set up now, like legit. This is our starter ignition. Let's try it, Steve.
Look.
Okay. All right, ready? You gotta give it some more. You gotta keep it going.
All right. We'll keep it going.
We gotta get just a little bit.
My air-fuel ratio isn't very accurate.
Why is there so much smoke?
When you tilted the motor up and down, I'm sure there's a bunch of oil in the cylinders.
Oh yeah, there definitely is.
Let's keep going.
Let's try it again. Oh, sorry. Battery's dying.
No.
We gotta charge it again. All right, well we can eat now.
Yes.
Now that we successfully.
And smoked out the garage.
Woo! Guys, it starts. It starts like no problem. I really wish we were running this on actual fuel. I don't have the vet fuel pressure regulator that I wanted to use. That way we could just go in I don't have all the fittings to plumb the actual regulator in right now. Maybe I'll look around. Maybe I'll try. I'd love to get this running on actual fuel. Like,
but it runs.
It runs. It starts up. Oh my God! It runs. The Miata lives. I know this isn't like officially living, but it starts. It started right up. I really wish we had the camera on. I was just so over things messing up when we did it. I'm like, there's no point in turning the camera on. We'll have some little issues, and then we'll get it started. And it was just like, boom.
There's shop supervisor.
Sandy, are you okay? Can you breathe? Comment, like this video if you're as excited as I am, or just like this video so it helps me, because thank you. You guys did that last time and it was a major help, so I appreciate it. I never asked for this, I never do, and I'm asking twice in an LS Miata video in a row now, but don't, just ignore me. Just ignore me. I'm just excited, I'm just so happy. Like, it runs. It freaking runs. Ah, this is crazy. All right, I'm gonna stop sitting here saying the same thing over and over again, and I'll get back to you when we're doing something different other than saying the same thing over and over again. All right, well, we went a little extreme on the whole letting the battery charge to eat break and spent about 2 hours.
Was it only 2 hours? It felt like longer.
I think it might have been longer. 6:30 to 9, 2.5 hours. We did watch Top 16 of FD, which is really rad. Yeah, let's just start it one more time.
Your air fuel ratio was better than mine.
It's hard to remember to take it off when it starts.
I didn't even think about it. I'm just like,
You were still holding it the whole time.
I was holding it the whole time, baby. That's why I was running.
Try it again. All right, go ahead.
Would it backfire at the intake?
Yeah. It works. It works. It actually runs. My hairs are standing up. I must have burnt them some with the backfire. I was trying to give it some throttle with an inappropriate air fuel mixture, but it runs. Ah! It sounds gnarly with the open header. Yeah, now I'm stoked. I'm burnt, but I'm stoked. Now we can do some chassis wiring. Steve got the rear harness in. This is just like a simple rendition. Still needs to get loomed and run properly. The problem we're having is the stock Miata harness, I already put it away, but none of the links of wire are long enough for us to run from here, you know, do one connection from here and go all the way up to the airbag area where the PMU is going to be. So we'd have to run, to have the same color wires, we'd have to run them down to about here, and maybe a little further, and then up into there, so we'd have to have 2 crimps, which I'm not fond of. Say bye, Steve.
See you later.
All right, day 2 of wiring. The wiring master, John, is here. So, John, you could better explain this. What are we making?
This is all you need right here. It shows you, this is your PMU. We're gonna do 2 little CAN buses, one for the keypad and one for so the PMU can talk to the laptop.
So we are making the CAN bus wires now. We need a CAN going from the keypad to the PMU, because that's how it communicates, just with CAN, which is 2 wires, for those of you who don't know, with resistors. It's witchcraft stuff I don't understand. But anyway, yeah, so this connects, which is 2 wires to the PMU, and then we will have 2 wires going from that to our connector. So we're making those 2 CAN wires now. That is lay plan. John is lay soldering. Sandy came out to supervise. She said John's doing a good job. She doesn't need help. So we came to John's shop to finish up, you know, what we're doing, getting the CAN and everything set up with the PMU, because he forgot the crimp tools earlier. So we couldn't do it at my house. So we figured we might as well just come do it here. In hindsight, I really didn't need a 12. Oh my God, sorry. I didn't need a 12 button keypad. I could have got away with like an 8 or a 4. But I have it. So I can add like my tire sprayer on here. I can add nitrous. Can add other stuff. I was gonna run power windows, so that's part of why I went with the big one. Because I wasn't sure if I would need to do one switch for up and one switch for down. It's such a satisfying thing, like hearing it snap in. Oh, there we go. Oh, so satisfying.
Now this is the best part.
Look at that.
So weather tight.
We haven't worked with the switch pad yet. John did this on his car, but it's all, he ran like all the factory stuff. So like his ignition switch, his wiper stalk, all that just runs through the PMU, no switch panel. I have a switch panel, but it's working. That means it's communicating, that means it's communicating, we're connected. First try.
Awkward.
Awkward, yes, great. All right, we got this wired up. So this is emulating us turning the key on. So go ahead, turn the key on, John.
Key on.
That's so cool. That's its intro party sequence. Wow.
So you can just like tick a button and that doesn't turn on anymore.
So we can set, yeah, we can turn that off, but we can set each button to have its own color. We can have it be like, you know, green when off, red when on, or vice versa, or yellow. So much stuff you can do with this.
Okay, let's try
Sorry,
to get
I'm so
output
excited.
to work.
Okay, I'm gonna put the camera down and keep working. Show them how it works, John. All right, we are idiots, and it took us forever to figure this out, but it was very simple. Set it with output 13. So see how there's no voltage there? Press the button. See, it changes color. Now we have voltage there, and it shows us that that circuit is activated right here. 11 is our power to the keypad, and then this is just the EC or the PMU being on. We're figuring it out. So cool.
It works.
See the channels in here too. It's off. See? Oh, there it's on. Off. On. This thing's crazy. Look at that. It's like sine waves. There's so much you can do. You can see like peak current when the item comes on. You can see like average current. You can have a graph showing like the current curve. Like, it's crazy. There's so much more you can do than I'm probably gonna do, but it's rad. Rad AF. But this is basically the base wiring we needed to do. The keypad's wired up. We got all our CAN wired up. We got pretty much everything besides like all of our inputs and outputs. Our inputs would be like fan from the ECU to fan out to the fan, and then like brake lights, which would be in from the brake light switch, and you know, headlights, which I would turn on here, stuff like that.
So what's cool about this for you is this part kind of sucks and it's annoying, but once this is done, like when you put your fans in, you literally just run a big power wire to the fan to here, and then you just pick on the screen which button you want to turn it on. Or whatever,
Yeah, and then
you're done.
Fans on.
That's it. No relays, no nonsense.
We'll probably have a whole nother video wiring the chassis and all of that stuff. But I have like a pretty firm grasp on it now. I'm glad John was able to help me with this part, because this is kind of like the hard setup part, but everything else should be relatively simple. Just pinning out the main connector, running all the wires through the chassis. So that'll probably be the next video of the Miata wiring. Hopefully that video as well. We can get it wired up enough to start it with this, you know, not the BS we did before, with fuel. I'm going to borrow Ashley's Corvette fuel pressure regulator so that I can use my little fuel pump in a jar, since I doubt my fuel lines will be here. Very exciting. We're really getting close. This is the last major thing to do to make it run. I'm ordering a drive shaft, wiring a drive shaft, and it'll drive. So we're close, guys. We're close. I'm very excited. Let me know if you're excited. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Say bye, John.